Hey guys, welcome back to Higurashi When They Cry. I'm Nicole Knight, and we're just gonna get right back to where we were at before. So we kind of were before where we basically played another card game for our group activity. We were kind of at a winning point with our main character Keiichi, but then it was just sort of like, oh, everything falls apart to crap because Keiichi ain't all that hot shit for that long. And then, we kind of like learn more about this festival coming up, and then encounter Tomitaki-san, the photographer, with Mion. And Mion apparently has like this sense of like, hey dude, how's it going? Go away, So it sort of is like one of those subtle fuck off sort of things in order to hide shit. So it's kind of like, are you really here to just photograph birds and stuff? Or are you actually here for other things like, bad things? I can't word today. So let's just get started and go on with this stuff. Yes. Alright, continue. A few days had passed since the incident. During that time, either Mion was busy or Rika-chan had to help with the festival preparations, so we couldn't get everybody together for club activities. Even though I thought I would never want to participate again after the years it shaved off my life each time, not having it only made my heart grow fonder. I really am not honest with myself. Today we finally had our club activities again. These weren't the same old club activities. It was called the Watanagashi 5 Demon Firefight, and it was one of the biggest events in the club. Keiichi! Does this yukata still fit you? Can you try it on for a second? Mom pulled out an old, dusty yukata. What's a yukata? I guess it's just like an outfit. Nah, I don't need a yukata. Those are embarrassing, so I'll just go in my normal clothes. But this is a festival. Wear it, okay? Rena and the others said regular clothes are just fine. If I was the only one wearing yukata, it'd be even more embarrassing. I put on the same old vest as usual. I'll be going with Rena and the others, so you don't need to worry about me. Is that so? I'll be going with Dad when he wakes up. Dad lets out a loud snore from the sofa. From now it looks he must have pulled an all-nighter last night. He just finished sending in his manuscript, so he might not wake up for a while. It seems my dad writes for art magazines sometimes too. I never read it though. I wonder if my dad is really a famous artist. Since his own son is saying something like that, I can't imagine he's selling it that well. But he's able to feed a family of 3, and my life isn't exactly full of hardships. It could be that he's some master painter and I just didn't know about it. Ding dong! Keiichi-kun, are you home? Uh-oh, it was already time. I didn't want them coming here, so I was planning on leaving early and waiting outside. Well, looks like they showed up at your place anyway. Oh my, it's Rena-chan. Thank you for always looking after Keiichi. Ma'am, he's also been looking out for me. Oh, she didn't say me. Why are you blushing from just meeting my mom? Don't get all flustered. It really doesn't feel right. Well, let's go, Rena. Since Rena would continue to space out if I left her here, I grabbed her hand and dragged her out. Rena-chan, look out for Keiichi for me. Oh, yes ma'am. Even if it means I must sacrifice myself. Okay, no, chill. Then why don't you just do it right now? No, stop. She waved back even if I was dragging her away. Okay, Kei-chan. You hungry today? We'll take care of that at these stalls. You thought I let myself get full knowing the club activities will involve the stalls? Wouldn't have it any other way. Where are Rika-chan and Satoko? Are they already at the temple? Yep, Rika-chan's a festival committee member after all. Satoko-chan is probably with her as well. I see. Alright, let's make some noise today. Yeah! We are already in high spirits with just the 3 of us here. Oh wow, that backward their background photo though. It was way more lively at the Ferretti Shrine than the last time I came, far exceeding my expectations. Throngs of people were crammed between rows of market stalls lined with colorful paper lanterns. Despite that, it was actually quite enjoyable. There's sure lots of people here. I can't believe they all live in Himinazawa. Everybody attends the Watanagashi. I think about half the village is here. It's not just that. Municipal and youth councils from neighboring towns and villages advertise this event as well. That's right. There aren't that many students at our school, but there are a lot of kids here today. It just doesn't feel like a festival unless there are kids running around after all. That's true, I agree. Ah, hello and good evening. These two knew everybody we came across. Of course I greeted them as well, but I wasn't familiar with everybody yet. Oh, Renan-chan. Thanks for the food you brought me a while back. My son loved it. He said it was delicious. Ah, it was nothing at all. I'm glad he liked it. Say hello to Kazuma-kun for me, please. Hey, if it isn't Sonozaki Oju-chan. I'm in charge of the stand again this year, so make sure you come and visit. Pops, have you gotten fatter? You'll end up having a heart attack with a gut like that. Oh, this kid here is new. Are you one of her underclassmen? He's one of my members, an upcoming hopeful. If you cross him, he could crush your stand in one night. You've got a little missy seal of approval, I see. Hope you take it easy on me. As you can imagine, Mion was chatting away with the old guys running the stalls. Mi-chan is really energetic after all. She's really popular with the older men. I can imagine. Joking. I think Brenna's pretty popular too. Being cute and all. That, of course, so long as her little condition didn't flare up. As long as she was blushing quietly, she's pretty cute. I'm popular with some people? Really? Really? With some people. I evaded giving her a straight answer by roughly tousling her hair. The stall keepers came all the way from town. It's not really a festival without them after all. So we're going to mess with them now? I don't care what kind of match it is, I'm gonna win it. Oh yes, I'll try too. Hey! You're all very late. It's unacceptable to keep a lady waiting, Keiji-san. Oh, my bad. So, where's this lady I've kept waiting? What did you just say? Alright, Satoko was in top form as well. Seems she was excited about being able to get everybody in the club together for the first time in a while. Whoa, Rika-chan, cute! Rena let out an elated sigh. It seemed that the real lady had made her appearance. Is she wearing her outfit? Yeah, she is. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to Keiichi as well. Woo! Looking good. You're looking sharp again this year. Cute. Gonna take you home. Rika-chan was wearing a shrine maiden outfit. Yup. Rena's little outburst was completely understandable. Rika-chan's clothes sure do look like the real deal. Is that a real shrine maiden outfit? My grandmother made them by hand. They're quite authentic. Rika-chan has an important task to do at the end of the festival, so she's wearing this. I see. Rika-chan was on the executive committee because she performed all shrine maiden rituals of the festival. My work is only during the finale of the festival, so I can still play for a while. But we cannot afford to waste any time. Let us begin. Alright! It felt good to wander around the festival with just the 5 of us. Mion called everyone over to a stand that caught her attention and proposed a rather odd competition. Takoyaki eating race. Everyone has to buy their own. Ready? Go. The standard in vendor stalls, the takoyaki stand. What was specially standard for these stands of events was the fact that they were simply balls of dough, takoyaki in name only. It burns. Are you okay, Keiji-kun? Have some water. My, eating those scalding takoyaki whole is suicide. I guess the trick is to buy ready-made ones that have been left there for a while. They really don't taste good. The stall next to it was shaved ice stand. It was a bit too early in the season for that, but right then it didn't matter. Let's do the shaved ice this time. It's a shaved ice eating race. Ready, go! Shaved ice eating race? I can't. As long as you can melt a bit with your body heat, then it's so cold. Not smart. This old man ordered it with plenty of syrup. It'll melt quickly when it's mixed up. Those stooges were too late. The moment they chose to tackle it head on was their fate downfall. Whew. Finished. Kei-chan is done? That was too fast. And he's about to get brain freeze. It couldn't be. Kei-chan, you didn't add water from the goldfish tank behind you, did you? Oh. That can't taste very good. Next to that was another old favorite. Cotton candy stand. Just squish it up and no. Why don't we do this one next? Of course, it's a speed eating contest. Hey now. How do you eat cotton candy quickly? How? On Sachiko's mark, Mion, Sachiko, and I all compressed the cotton candy with our band hands. By the time it took to stick the whole thing in our mouths, 3 seconds. Yep. I expected Sachiko to figure it out, but I didn't think Kei-chan would too. I can't have you treat me like I'm a newbie forever, can I? It won't taste very good. Rika had also crushed it between her hands and stuck it in her mouth. This is probably the only place in Japan where people eat cotton candy like this. I think only Rena's cotton candy was happy with how it's eaten. But I felt like we would end up doing stuff like eat noodles through the nose contest or humid water pump the goldfish scoop at the rate things were going. Soul Man will probably still win too. I'm simply no match for Mion-san when it comes to eating repulsive things. Yeah, seriously. What's up with you guys? Are you telling me you don't want to have a blue Hawaii top yakisoba eating contest? Shake, shake. Both Satoko and I shook our heads in unison. Can we have a game that doesn't involve food this time? Can we? Rena's proposal was a godsend. It was about time we played some different kind of game. It also seemed like neither Rena nor Rika-chan were good at any speed eating or gorging themselves. Okay, Rena, I'll let you pick out the next game. Anything is fine. Well then, I'm going to be the judge. Find cute things on the festival grounds. You have 1 minute. Fine by me. I know exactly what Rena likes. Alright. I think I can win by that. Ready? Go. Oh? Why aren't Keiichi-kun and Rika-chan starting? Why not? Mion and Satoko dashed off madly, but Rika-chan and I calmly stayed right where we are. Could it be you've already found it? The cute thing? We've already found it. Keiichi too? Yeah. What is it? What is it? I can't wait! Both Rika and I stood motionless for those few moments before Mion and Satoko returned. This is probably the first time we've gone head-to-head like this. It will be the first. Rika-chan, you expect to win with that, huh? I am a member of this club as well. Win by any means is our society's third rule. Rika-chan sneered to the best of her ability. You're on. Both Mion and Satoko came back, each with their own plan of attack stuffed in their arms. Okay then, let's go in order. Let's start with the club president, Michan. Too bad, you guys, I'm ending this now. This old man brought this! Where did she get those? They were old tin diamond-shaped signs. Pleb curry, snake coil incense, and ornament C. How about this? That's very understated. A little too understated, Mion. I used to see those stuck up on barbed wire fences. They were more nostalgic than cute. Can you explain what part of that is cute? But there are puffs of snow noisily shooting out of Rena's ears and nose, almost like a steam train. I didn't get it. I shall be up next. It's this! It was a hand-drawn poster from the Ladies' Society roasted corn stall. It was a really bad sketch done by a housewife. An anthropomorphic roasted corn drawn without any sort of real plan. Its very existence invited a sense of sorrow to the viewer. Whip. That was the sound of blood jetting out of Rena's nose. It seemed to have been rated higher than Mion's. I really didn't get it. It feels like your artistic sense is a little avant-garde, but by about 5 eons. Oh, those are nothing but mass-produced signs after all. They had no chance of something hand-drawn. I couldn't even begin to follow what those guys were thinking. And I'll be next. It's gonna be like, me, bitch. Next is Rika-chan, is it? What can you even do without anything? Did you and Satoko both forget? If Rika-chan felt like it, she could simply... After moving back about 10 yards, she began waddling up to Rena. Told you, she's gonna be like, me, bitch. Seeing that, both Mion and Satoko gasped. Oh no. Too late. Rika-chan tripped over nothing and laid motionless after falling down. Rena hurried over to her. Rika-chan, are you alright? Rika-chan had a lump on her forehead and tears welled up in her eyes. Only her fingers peeked out from her sleeves. This was the vital part. The palms of her hands were covered by her sleeves. She made a single sound. Mew. Oh, cute, cute. Going to take you home. I'd completely forgotten that. The play that I'd personally had to use. Rena's face was completely red, her head bobbing back and forth between excitement. She embraced Rika-chan and began rubbing her cheek against her. Told you. I expect no less from her. Not a single element was overlooked. Loli, Shrine Maiden, brink of crime, Mew, it was perfect. A simple trip transcended into pure moe. Now that's what you call art. Kei-chan has a pretty weird definition of art. I'll just pretend the sharp sting of those words cutting through me like a razor was a figment of my imagination. Yeah, those definitely did not hurt. Rika-chan had turned her gaze to me with a daunting smile as she was caressed by Rena, who was in full cute mode. Now, Keiji, can you beat me? That cold smile is frightening, Rika-chan. It must just be my imagination, but I see a demon inside her sometimes. Kei-chan seems to have his own plan of attack. I wonder what he's going to show her. I also wish to observe the play Keiji-san will make. Give me a perv. Could it be Keiji-san is also going to give a performance? I basked in their pointed stares. I pulled Rena, who gave me no sign of canceling out of cute mode, away from Rika-chan. Oh, cute thing, cute. Keiji-kun, let's go. I'll show you something even cuter, so just hold on for now. Huh? Oh? Something even cuter? But it's a bit too crowded here. Let's go back there. Rena looked very surprised as I pulled her behind the shrine. I cannot fathom what Keiji-san could possibly be planning. This is Kei-chan after all. No, it couldn't be. Keep on fighting. Yeah. After a bit, I returned. And after that, so did Rena, dragging her feet. There's no way that scoundrel Kei-chan did something to innocent little Rena. Mion and Satoko passed by me, heading straight to Rena. What exactly did he do to you? For a moment, Rena was too dazed to realize someone was talking to her. Oh, it's me-chan. Oh. Rena, are you alright? Did Kei-chan do anything to you? He did all the things, no. No, he didn't do anything strange to me. Oh. This is quite severe. Exactly what did Kei-chan show you? It was cute. Oh. Cute? What did he show you, Rena? Rena let out a really long howl. Her eyes sparkled as she spoke. Cute, so cute. It was Kei-chan's furry little seal. Whamp, whoomp. Wow. In the blink of an eye, Mion and Satoko's elbows smashed into my face. Huh? What? Showing Rena something so dirty! You sick pervert! I shall have you beaten to oblivion! Wait, you've got it all wrong! A dark, billowing aura flowed from Mion and Satoko. It was no good. They're gonna kill me. Mii-chan, I'm not sure what's going on, but you've got it all wrong. You see, Kei-chan had... It's a first seal keychain. Rika stuck her hand into my pocket and pulled out my keychain. Eh? He said he made it long ago for one of his summer school assignments. He said he doesn't show it to other people often because it's embarrassing. Yeah, so small and cute. He tried his best to make it. It's so wonderful. Oh. It wasn't as bad as I thought. Alright. This old man thought you meant I was Keiichi's cute little fur seal. Ho. I'd expect no less from Mion-san. You misconstrue things in the wildest ways. They slung insults at each other and looked like they were already to tear each other at any second. I beg of you. If I'm in the clear, would you mind getting off of me? We were interrupted by a flash of camera. Hey guys. You all seem energetic as usual. It was Tomitaki-san. As I lay crumpled on the ground, Mion and Satoko continued to bicker above me. Rika was patting me on the head and Rena was still in cute mode. It was probably quite a lively scene. It's a fine evening indeed, although it's a rather poor etiquette to photograph a lady without her permission. That's right. At least you don't really need Satoko's permission. Satoko dug her heel into me. Good evening. You're heading back tomorrow, aren't you? Were you able to take lots of good photos? Thanks to you, I got plenty of good shots. Tonight's the last we can see of old Tomitaka-sama, isn't it? It's such a shame. Hurry up and have your major breakout soon. Just as rude as ever, aren't you? I really am sad that I won't be able to hear that voice of yours for almost half a year. Be sure to have as much fun as you can tonight. You'll be back in Tokyo tomorrow, after all. That's true. It'll be another 6 months. Until I can enjoy another night where I can see the stars. Tomitaki-san looked up at the night sky cheerfully. At that moment, even though he was smiling, I can sense a bit of sadness. Why don't you move here, Tomitaki-san? In Himinazawa. Tomitaki-san was speechless. It's not very convenient here. No shops or recreational spots. There might not be anything really here, but, you know, everyone knew what I was trying to say. Tomitaki-san was also aware. So was Rena, Mion, Satoko, and Rika-chan. None of them butted in. I've only been here for less than a month, so I really don't know everything about it. You know, I'm a really talkative guy, but in situations like this I'm at a loss for words. Even though this was happening in such a boisterous setting, it felt like all the background noise was fading into the distance. This place is probably... Tomitaki-san rested his hand on me, gently silencing me. Thank you, Keiichi-kun. Mion-chan and Reina-chan, Satoko-chan and Rika-chan. Tomitaki-san's smile was so slight and it looked as if it was going to crumble at any minute, but it was warm. I also think it would be great if I could live here. Those might have been cruel words coming from a kid who didn't need to worry about working to feed himself. Hand touched my back. It was Rena. Keiichi-kun, you shouldn't pick on adults, it's not nice. The background clamor of the festival returned. We won't be seeing him for a while after all. We need to make sure Tomitaki-san also enjoys tonight. When Rena smiled, the mood instantly got brighter. That's true. I think I'll do just that. Hey Mii-chan. How about it? Can we let Tomitaki-san in our club activities? That's a great idea. Or so I thought, but Mion had a snobbish look on her face. One of the requirements for membership is residence in Himinazawa, you see. Sure. Come on, Mii-chan, just for today, don't be mean. When he does come around often every year, I'll make him an honorary citizen. Yay! Now then, I wonder if this H fellow will pass his prime, be a match for me. Let's have him show us the wisdom of a mature adult. Can you keep us with us, young'uns? Tomitaki-san stepped back slightly at our audacious grins. I, Mion Sonosaki, club president, do hereby authorize honorary citizen Tomitaki's entry into our club. Her words were quickly drowned out by our cheers. What do you mean by club? What our club does, you see, is in order to cope with our complicated society, we perform various activities with various rules. Sometimes they are in your favor, and sometimes they work against you. I was gonna say, Rika, come up with the simple explanation, please. I'm pretty weak, so I prefer you not single me out. Please, let's try to get along. If you wish to mock our childish games, then this will be the perfect opportunity. We'll leave you with nothing. We won't even leave you with the hairs on your butt. So, it's a club where we play games together. Of course, Rika-chan was the only one to give an answer that made sense. Alright, just what I wanted. I'll take you up on that challenge. Don't be too rough on me, my mentors. Tomitaki-san got riled up and did a victory pose, just like he was 10 years younger. That's perfect. We continued walking through the festival with Mion in the front. Now we looked like a family of 6. It had some intensity to it. Same rules as always. The loser will, of course, be subject to a penalty. Tomitaki-san was a bit surprised, but to us it was just all the same as always. Regardless of how terrible the penalty was, just don't lose. Rena was so brimming with determination. She didn't have any intention of losing. That's true. I was tousled with Rena's hair to lighten the mood. She giggled to hide her embarrassment. I see. So this is what it means to feel like a kid again. Tomitaki-san whispered that to nobody in particular. At that moment, we heard an old man call out in a strong voice. Looking over, I realized it was the man Mion had greeted right before the festival. You're here, little Miss Sonosaki. Seems like you brought quite a crowd. Quite a crowd. We came to eradicate your entire stall. The stall was a shooting gallery. It was the usual setup where you had to knock down the prize you wanted with a cork gun. Rules are simple. 3 shots. Winner is whoever gets the biggest prize. Everyone shouted their agreement. There was no need to consider how to win, since the condition for victory is simply size. That's what I was just about to say, I think that's all there is to it. The biggest prize in the stall, it went without question. It was that one, wasn't it? That teddy bear. Cute. Rena was gazing longingly at the large stuffed animal. It was intentionally placed on an unsteady platform, so it was possible to get it if you hit the right spot. It was magnificently set up to make someone think that. Not bad, Keiji-san. I figured you would see through the scam instantly. The most logical course of action would be to aim for some candy or a doll. The intent analysis had already begun. In this club, you'll get eaten alive if you don't come up prepared. Everything hinges on what plan you come up with before the main event. At some point, a large crowd is gathered around us, making a fuss. There was this much of a following for our club's infamous event. Knocking the bear down ensures a win. Only 3 shots. To use them all just trying, that'd be rough. Hey, I have other customers waiting, you know. Who's up first? First one has the advantage of being able to aim for easier prizes, but it's dangerous to compete without knowing the gun's quirks. Tomitaki's take on the situation was pretty good. He gets what our club is about. Well then, to be fair, how about using rock, paper, scissors to decide? How about it? That's really the only way. Rock, paper, scissors. Duh. After a couple matches ended up with Mion being first. I didn't want to end up first. Oh well, I just think of it as a handicap. Gramps, gun. Here you go. When the shooting range guy handed her a rifle, Mion looked over it intently. She didn't forget to check the cork bullet either. Okay, this gun is brand new, isn't it? No faults? Not bad. Mion raised the gun with one swift motion. It was completely different from her careful inspection. She was shooting from the hip. Fire. Reload. Fire. Reload. Fire. Flop. Flop, flop. 3 candy boxes fell one after the other. A big haul. The crowd applauds in a moment of awe and then erupted in cheers. Whoa, awesome. That was quite good. Tomitake-san was at a loss for words after seeing such shooting prowess. Amazing, Mii-chan. 3-3. Her accuracy was incredible. Her choice of targets wasn't bad either. The 3 Mion had gone after were fairly large and pretty easy to knock over. They were all targets with very high return on investment. Who's up next? Satoko? Careful, the bullets are light. Next was Satoko. Rifle looked a bit big for her lithe body, but it didn't seem like she had any problem with the weight. Of course, I shall aim for the grand prize, she proclaimed as she was going after the teddy bear. Damn, Satoko, such a bold move. The moment she knocks it over, she's guaranteed to be in first. Good luck, Satoko-chan. Satoko was the opposite of Mion. She aimed to target quite carefully and squeezed the trigger. Ah, these bullets are too light. The first 2 bullets struck the bear in the torso, but it only shifted a bit. You need to aim higher towards the head or it won't work. Satoko's 3rd bullet wasn't aimed at the bear, but at the candy box below its arm. I hate to say it, but it appears the bear is just too much for me. She went boldly after the big catch, but since she switched over to a less impressive play at the last second, the crowd only gave a strained laugh. Were they laughing because she lacked the courage? These fools know nothing. Fine attempt, Satoko. You've gotten better. Palm of Mion's outstretched hand went poof as it laid down slightly on Satoko. She appeared to be talking hot air, but this was actually completely calculated. Damn that Satoko. Just to avoid being in last place, she dared to switch over to an easy target. Without shame or honor. Magnificent. I'll allow you to take the bear, Rena-san. I pray for your victory. Okay. Thanks so much, Satoko-chan. Oh, bear, so cute. Rena was up next. She couldn't hit the broad side of the barn as a regular Rena, so she said the bear was cute. I wonder how Rena will do. Hope she's able to hit at least one. You underestimate Rena, Tomitake-san. It's Rena, you know. It's Rena Ryugu, you know? If it was to get the teddy bear. Whoa. Tomitake-san wheeled around to see what all the commotion the spectators were making was about. If it was to get the bear, she was able to shoot through a pinhole. The one known as Rena Ryugu could do it. It's shaking, so cute! Rena couldn't hide her excitement over the bear's slow rocking. Now Rena couldn't lose. Not bad, Rena-san. The less collected you become, the stronger you get. That makes sense. Whoa! Another big cheer. Rena's bullet hit the bear's forehead again. Enough. Not enough. The bear seemed to wobble more than before, though. But it might not be possible. You never know. With Rena-chan's skill, it might be. While Tomitake-san was just as excited as the crowd, Rika-chan's analysis was not swayed by emotion. If Rena had 10 more shots, then she could surely knock it over. But with just one more, no matter how you looked at it, no go. Ow! The crowd let out a dejected groan. She had shot her right in the forehead 3 times. It was a bit late, but they gave her a good round of applause for the attempt. Oh, Bear-san, take him home, howl. She should be praised for her valor, but she had no trophies to show for it. Then, at an old moment, Old Man flicked one of the candy boxes with his finger and handed to Rena. This is for you, little lady. Aw, that's so sweet. You're giving this to me? Aw. The gods won't forgive me if I let you go home with empty-handed after such a display. There was another shower of applause. Rena turned bright red and I pulled her back over to us by her hand. You did a great job. Your cute mode really surprised me. I really wanted Mr. Bear, huh? It's really easy to see that I only need a little bit more to be knocked over. Rena had done quite a lot for me. I still need to pay her back for the delicious picnic. Alright, then I'll get it and give it to you. What? Tomitake-san has stolen the words right out of my mouth. That son of a bitch. Okay. Please, Tomitake-san. Good luck. Damn you, old man Tomitake. Stealing the good parts for yourself. A small hand stretched over and fall gently onto my head before I was overcome with frustration. It was Rika-chan. You keep on fighting too, Keiji, okay? Tomitaka-san carefully studied the bear. Setting his sights, he shouldered the rifle while holding the other 2 shots in his hand. Why is he doing that? Yes, no doubt. Tomitaka-san is aiming for... The time between the shots was short. It was meaningless to shoot again once it stopped shaking, so Tomitaka-san was relying on rapid fire to win the battle. It was visibly wobbling much more than it ever had before, but that was all. It didn't fall over. Dang. Aw, too bad. All of Rena's momentary expectation from watching it sway violently turned into a dejected sigh. I really thought it would work. Oh ho ho! It seems that since you're a man, you will not be receiving any candy. That was it. It meant Tomitaka-san had no spoils of war. So both Keiji-san and Rika-chan can just shoot down small easy prize and avoid being dead last. Avoid being dead loser, huh? Oh, sorry about that. It's your turn next, Keiji-san. Best of luck. I was the 5th shooter. I took the rifle from Tomitaka-san. If I took the ruthless route me and Mion suggested, then I go for a small target. Except, when I picked up the rifle, I definitely got a feeling from it. It was burning passion. Passed on to me by Tomitaka-san. The regret of not being man enough to fell the bear that Rena wanted. Yes, that's right. If I didn't aim for the bear, then I wouldn't be a man. After all, that was my promise to Rena. Huh? What promise, huh? Shoot down that bear, then give it to Rena. That one. You mean, oh. Crowd went wild when they saw our conversation. Whoa, cool Oni-chan. You got balls, man. That's not it. Fine man for the crowd. If I didn't do this, then Rena might mug the old man running the stall on his way home. No, that's not it. That's not it at all. Why can't I just express my honest feelings? Because emotions are complicated when you're a teenager, don't you know? Keiji-san surely talks the talk, but how do you actually intend on bringing down the bear? Rena and Tomitaka-san's shot did make it tilt a bit, but I think finishing the job will be difficult. Keiji-kun, if there were only some way to shoot faster, I'd be able to pile more power on the sway from each hit. Good luck, Keiji-kun. After shaking 2 deep breaths, I shouted over to the guy. 2 more rifles. Huh? The crowd murmured amongst themselves. You allowed to do that? I wonder what Keiji-san is up to. One person can't handle 3 rifles at once. I get it. Nice thinking, Kei-chan. Mion was able to figure it out magnificently. Basically, what it's taken the most time was redealing the shot. That's right. Then, by putting 3 preloaded rifles next to each other, Tomitaka-san was silent, peering at me and the bear through his lens. His photographer's blood predicted a miracle will occur. And then the crowd finally picked up on what I was planning. They let out a great cheer. They chanted my name, Keiji. Rapid fire is the key. If I miss, all is for naught. Phew. After letting out a deep breath, I paused. Relax. Now. That moment, it felt like time itself had stopped. I felt like I could see the trajectory of the bullets. Hit it. And knock it down. The first shot hit the bear on its head, and second, and third. Bear swayed hard. And then... Did we actually get it? Woohoo! Yeah! I'm not yelling. The cheers began before the stuffed animal even finished falling off the shelf. The guy caught it before hitting the ground and tossed it over to me. You actually knocked it over. You got me. Amazing. Congratulations, Keiji-kun. Keiji-san has finally learned how to use his head. I see you in a slightly better light now. Slightly better. I didn't do it all myself. Everyone hit it, and those small hits together brought it down. This trophy belongs to all of us. Right, this is all for us working together. Me didn't heat a single time. Irk. And then Rika didn't even go at all. After holding up the teddy bear like it was a championship trophy, I handed it to Rena. Here. This is from me. No, from everyone. Thanks for always making your delicious lunches. Rena, thinking she was never actually going to get that, momentarily was speechless. I can't, Cage-kun. This is everyone's after all. In that case, I was the one who knocked it down. And it's mine. Mine, so I'm giving it to Rena. I pushed the stuffed bear towards her again. This time she embraced it and accepted it. You've watched out for me ever since I moved here, after all. I'm really grateful, you see. Thanks a whole lot. Keiji-kun. Thanks so much. This is really sweet. Rena dove at me. Mion told me a few days later that Rena kissed me, but I didn't realize it during all the excitement at the time. What the fuck? I remembered what I was trying to say to Tomotaki-san earlier. There really isn't much anything here, but there are lots of things you can't find anywhere else. I gained a lot coming to Himenizawa, especially at that moment. The crowd's cheers echoed on and on. From the altar set up in the front of the shrine, the drums sounded to an booming echo. It was the finale of the festival. I'll be going off ahead then. Uh-oh. I'll need to go and get myself a good spot too. Well, then everyone see you in a bit. Both Rika-chan and Tomotaki-san gave their farewells and disappeared to the crowd. I wish both of you the best in your endeavors. Now, shall we be off? Yeah, might as well go see Rika-chan's charming figure. Let's go. Yeah. Well, where's Rena? What are you doing? Ichi-kun, Mi-chan, save me. Since she was carrying such a ridiculously large stuffed animal, she was being carried by the flow of people. What's she doing? She must have her hands full of taking care of that bear. So I'll leave Rena in your care, Keiji-chan. I have my hands full of taking care of Satoko. Who would want to be looked up by after you, Mion-san? Ouch, please don't pull on my arm. Before losing sight of Mion, I grabbed the back of Rena's collar. Keiji-kun, not there, don't grab me there. Always so bossy. Where can I grab then? How? I didn't feel ashamed at all. Rena was ashamed enough for the both of us. I grabbed one of Rena's hands and dashed after Mion's and the others. We're gonna be late. Let's hurry up. Yeah. I hadn't realized Rena's hand was so delicate. Maybe she needed more exercise and nutrition? That wasn't what I meant, not at all. My ears burned. I tried to keep calm. I repeated the phrase, keep it together, Cage, in my bar in my mind, but it didn't look like it would be able to do so anytime soon. I really didn't want Rena to see my face right then, so I pushed onwards, dragging her along without looking back even once. There was already a huge group of people gathered at the altar in front of the shrine. The fire at the altar made it bright as midday and just as hot. There was a pile of futons warded in sanctified rope in front of the altar. Come to think of it, they did say it was a festival where they did something with the cotton and futons. Keiji-san, Rena-san, we're over here. Sachiko waved her hand in the front row. Ah, sorry. Making our way through the mass of people, we reached the spot where they saved. How was it? Were you able to have a little bit of excitement with Rena? Punk, so that's what your plan was. Instead of replying, Mion gave us a perverse grin. How was it, Rena? Was Keiji-san bigger than you thought it would be? Haha. Aww. Rena turned bright red, puff steam shooting out of her. I heard something slice through air and turned around to see Mion on the ground with a welt on her face. Mion, when were you hit? Between the ha and the o of her how, I think. Rena, it's not good to punch your friends and hide your embarrassment. I didn't hit her. Whatever. Ow. Sneaky little thump. The thunderous beat of drums echoed, silence in the crowd. You must all be quiet, it's beginning. It was a solemn ritual. Rika-chan entered dressed as a shrine maiden, followed by members of the municipal committee. The elders all looked at Rika-chan and clasped their hands in praise. The only thing allowed to disturb the profound silence was a flash from Tomitaki-san's camera. What's the big thing Rika-chan's holding? A hoe that's used for this festival. It's a sacred farming tool that only the shrine maiden may touch. It was an awkward shape for a piece of farm equipment, not uncommon for something used in rituals. After reciting a Shinto prayer, Rika-chan approached a pile of futons gathered at the altar. She swung the hoe skillfully, plowing it into the futons. Each and every little movement, this performance probably had to be done a certain way. Without a doubt, this was a ritual. What's next? Airing out the futons? She's purifying the futons that's absorbed illnesses from people over the winter. So when Kei-chan said airing out futons, he wasn't completely wrong. Rika-chan's face was already dripping with sweat. That hoe was probably really heavy. She staggered side to side with the momentum of each swing. Satoko looked on, silently lending her support. Worried? Rika practiced every single day with a mochi hammer. She will certainly prevail. Satoko's hands were sweaty, and whenever Rika-chan started to sway a little, she held her breath. Why wasn't Mion a candidate to be the shrine maiden? It feels wrong, having Mika-chan swing something so heavy. I'd do it if they asked me, you know. And well, it's not something just anyone can do. And that's true. Shrine maidens need to be pure, after all. Mion dove her elbow into my side. With the thud of the big drum, Rika-chan gave a solemn bow and descended from the altar. That triggered a round of generous applause. After the Shinto priest had raised up the cleansed futons like a portable altar, all the spectators stood up. Following after the priests, we all marched on a moderate pace. They descended the shrine's giant stairs in a line. What's happening now? Washing the futons in the river? Watanagashi means setting futon cotton adrift, you know. The procession continued right up into the bank of the stream. A fire was stoked high and it was bright as day here too. People started crowding around it and clamoring. Alright, get in line. Line up, Cage-kun. I wonder what was up. Maybe we get some holy wine? Red and white bean buns? It's not food. I said it was cotton. Ah, but of course. They didn't call it the Watanagashi for nothing. I finally understood. The municipal committee members pulled out the cotton from inside futons and balled it up like mochi, handing it out to people. Rena dove into the line and brought out some for me as well. We then proceeded to the bank up of the stream. Since it's your first time, Cage-kun, just copy what I do. She held the cotton in her right hand, and waving her hand as if to purify it, she touched it to her forehead, chest, navel, and both thighs. You do this 3 times, and silently give thanks to Oyashiro-sama. Oyashiro-sama? What's that? The name of a shrine's god? Yes, it's the guardian's deity of Himinazawa. It brings both miracles and curses, so you must be sure to show some respect. That sounded like a pretty frightening god. But well, when in Rome, I was officially a resident of Himinazawa now, after all. Doing as Rena showed me, I touched the cotton over myself 3 times. Thank you, Oyashiro-sama. Thank you, Oyashiro-sama. Oyashiro-sama. This way, all the evil that possesses you is sucked out by the cotton. Then you let it gently drift away on the stream. And you're done. Together, Renner and I set out our pieces of cotton afloat on the surface of the water. The flowers of cotton blooming in the water had sucked out all the evil festering in Himinazawa and drifted off, disappearing into the distance. It was wonderful, like those floating lantern festivals I'd seen on TV. The best part, though, was feeling like this rite of passage had made me a true resident of Himinizawa. While staring off into the stream, I somehow got separated from Rena. I wasn't very lonely, though. I know this place now. This is where I live, my home. It's probably better if I just stay here instead of wandering off aimlessly. Someone would surely find me while I was enjoying the evening breeze. I heard a familiar voice. It was Tomitake-san's. I headed towards it. How did it go, Tomitake-san? Were you able to get some good shots? Yeah, fortunately. Tomitake-san was with a girl. I felt like I was intruding. Hey, we finally meet this bitch. How was it, Cage-kun? Did you enjoy the festival? From the way she spoke, it seemed like she was a resident of Himinizawa. I really should try hard to remember people's faces here. What was her name? It was fun. My face must have given away how desperate I was trying to remember her name, because she gave a lighthearted chuckle. It's probably because it hasn't been long since you moved here. It's pretty hard to believe seeing how friendly you've gotten to the other kids. If that's how it looked, it probably was all thanks to Rena and Mion. Perhaps you feel a little more like a resident of Himinizawa after taking part of the festival today? I wonder about that. Oh, that's not like you. I tried to get used to Himinizawa, but there were still plenty of things I didn't know. The faces of people I met, for example. Things that had happened in the past as well. Oh, you're feeling left out because of something like that? It's not so much a feeling of left out, it's just that I'm not sure how to say it. That incident about the damn construction site. The fighting over it and other conflicts. That terrible incident they pretended they didn't even know about it whenever I brought it up. Even though it was in the past, as someone living in Himinizawa, it wasn't wrong to know what happened about both the good and the bad that had happened here. If it will put you at ease, then I'll tell you everything I know. Tomitake-san's smile made me more relieved than I've ever been. It was hard to think of what I'd ask when someone said, "Ask me anything," though. Even when there was so much I wanted to ask. Then, could you tell me about what happened when the dam was being constructed? There was a big incident where Himinizawa was going to be submerged, right? I think the locals would be more knowledgeable about the dam than I am. Well, if you don't mind, I'll tell you what I know. It's only what I read in the newspaper, though. Tomitake-san's eyes entered an unfocused gaze as he searched through his memory. Then he spoke. The decision to start the dam project was finalized 7 or 8 years ago. I heard it was the next major project after Kurobe. There were 3 major issues in Japan all that time. Improving inter-island transportation infrastructure, meeting the higher demand for electricity, and flood control. There was a boom of dam building due to the massive economic stimulus they provided on top of generating electricity and flood control. Himinizawa had the right conditions to support dam construction, so it was singled out. The dam reservoir would have covered quite a lot of ground when it was completed. The entire area, right up to Yaguichi, if I said that correctly, way upstream would be underwater. But why do they have to pick a populated area like Himinizawa? Couldn't they have instead picked a place where nobody lived? I'm not really sure why, but I heard that it was just a right terrain for building a dam. Of course, there were protests here in Himinizawa. Rika-chan said that there was a battle. From what choice of words I had to guess, things had turned violent. There was a trial and it had even brought up before the national diet. It was covered in Tokyo newspapers, too. Miyano told me about that as well. I'm sure every resident in Himinizawa had united to fight together. The feeling of solidarity found here, which could not be expressed properly with mere words, was likely brought about by the battle. As a result, bribery and scandals were brought to light. As things got more and more complicated, they eventually halted construction. If I wanted to know, now was my only chance to ask. It was certainly a bizarre incident that boys my age would be curious about. I felt a little shame from the fact that I was pretty enough to have my curiosity piqued by Rena and Mion's refusal to talk about the event. but I figured I might as well ask since I had the chance. So I would stop thinking about it as much. So there was a dismemberment, right? There was. I happened to be here in Himinazawa at the time, so I remember it well. Tomitaka-san was so nonchalant, in contrast to my hesitantly forced-out question. It was about this time 4 years ago. It was the day of the Watanagashi, if I recall correctly. Debate on whether to continue construction on the dam was in disarray. Scandal after scandal rocked the project near the end. The incident that was the final nail in the coffin was for the dam project. A fight at the dam construction site ended in a victim being murdered. Fearing prosecution, the 6 assailants divided the remains into 6 pieces and each hid one. 5 of the 6 criminals turned themselves in out of guilt, but one was still on the run. The right arm he had hidden away had yet to be found. The major details lined up with what was in the tabloid I read earlier. It was certainly a tragic incident, but it wasn't so terrible that Ren and Mion needed to hide it from me. I guess I don't want someone who just moved here to have a negative impression of Himinazawa. I felt grateful for having friends who worried so much about me, as well as shame for still being so interested in it. It was near the end of the trouble with the dam, you see, so everyone was saying that it was Oyushiro-sama's curse. Oyushiro-sama's curse, huh? Oyushiro-sama was the name of the god at the shrine held at the festival today, if I recalled correctly. I see. Their guardian deity rained divine punishment down on the evil dam constructions for trying to flood Himinazawa. Apparently the younger ones didn't think so, but it seems the elderly in the village never doubted that it was Oyushiro-sama's curse. A woman with Tomitaka-san said with a mischievous chuckle. Tomitaka-san began laughing with her. It was so infectious I ended up laughing as well. But I wonder about now. There are quite a few, I think. Amongst the youth, too. A few, what? People who believe in Oyushiro-sama's curse. The woman's lips were still curled to a smile, but her expressions turned stern. Then after that, it continued every year. Always around this time. Continued? What continued? Tomitaka-san paused for a second as if to build some suspense. Then he whispered to me, as if someone might have been listening. Every year, on the day of the Watanagashi, somebody dies. The year following dismemberment, on the day of the Watanagashi, a man from Himinazawa who had supported the dam fell off a cliff overlooking some rapids and died while he was on vacation. Unfortunately for his wife, the body was never recovered. He supported the dam construction even though he lived in Himinazawa. At the time, there were whispers amongst the elderly saying it was Oyushiro-sama's curse. The woman chuckled mischievously again. Then the next year, the night of the Watanagashi, the shrine Shinto priest died suddenly from an unknown illness. His wife drowned herself in the bog that night. Shrine Shinto priest? You mean he was from the shrine here? The woman nodded. There was a rumor amongst the villagers that they weren't able to quell Oyushiro-sama's anger. Then the year after that, again, at the night of the Watanagashi, they discovered the battered body of a local housewife. Housewife? Up till now, all these mysterious deaths were people involved with the dam or who had connections with Oyushiro-sama. With that in mind, how could the housewife have been involved in some way too? Exactly. The woman stated slyly. No, it was more menacingly. One of the victim's relatives, you see, was connected to the younger brother of the dam supporter who fell to his death 2 years before. There's the connection. The younger brother's still alive, it seems, but it did bother him quite a bit, so he moved to the neighboring town. For a while I stood there, with my mouth agape. The battle over the dam construction with Himinazawa's future at stake, and the murder at the center of it all. That was all I knew, and that was all I wanted to ask about. But that wasn't all there was to the story. Homicide, body disposal, accidental deaths, terminal illness, suicide, fatal beatings. I'm a pretty level-headed person. I don't really want to believe in curses, but the freakish deaths happened every year on the day of the Watanagashi, and all of them were related to a dam construction? It was easy to dismiss each of them as coincidences by themselves, but when you put them all together, dismissing all of them as coincidence would be then defy logic. I don't believe in curses, but every single year on the day of Watanagashi, somebody or something makes it happen without fail. The woman chuckled again as if she picked up on what I was thinking. It felt like she was saying, maybe there was, maybe we frightened him. Stuff like that. I felt embarrassed at being read so easily. I pressed Tomitaki-san to continue, a bit of impatience and irritation in my tone. Then? So someone died the next year, right? Who was it that time? I wonder. Who do you think, Cage-kun? The hell? The way he said it didn't agree with me. The sarcastic tone ticked me off. Don't avoid the question, I'm serious here. Hey, calm down, Cage-kun. I realized when she tried to calm me down, I had been panicking. We aren't trying to avoid the question, Cage-kun. It's just, when you say next year, that's today. Yeah, I was gonna say, if you were to keep up with the years, it would be today, so I was about to say, like, what are you talking about, dude? When she hesitated to say it, Tomitaki-san finished for her. I broke into a cold sweat. I didn't really like the direction this was headed. Nobody wants to speak of it, but they all think it's going to happen again tonight. The festival's so cheerful, though. Well, the victim last year, the housewife, she was a non-believer. It turns out she didn't even attend the Watanagashi festival. There was a rumor going around that if you didn't participate in the festival, you would incur Shiwa-sama's wrath. Didn't hear anything about this, Cage-kun? I never even heard a whisper of that rumor. And the reason everyone was at the festival was that they were afraid of the curse. I figured that must have been the reason. There were a lot of people at Watanagashi than usual. I guess everyone was just afraid, after all, of Oyushiro-sama's curse. I couldn't utter a single word. In this modern age, where we've made progress in all scientific fields, shedding light on the unknown and the misunderstood, where black and white television have been eradicated and we sent men to the moon, even with all of our accomplishments, this can exist in a modern society? Tons of invitations were sent out to neighboring towns, youth groups, to help pad the numbers, but after the string of events, few decided to join. Municipal community members were complaining about how hard it was to gather participants. Also, the police were treating such cases as isolated. They don't believe they were connected. They were trying to keep quiet, so it's all plainclothes officers. It finally began to dawn on me why Amanda and Mion were reluctant to talk. If nothing happened during this Watanagashi, everything would have been over with and I'd be none the wiser. If nothing happened, all would be well. In that case, it would all just end up being crazy talk. I should have just pretended like I knew nothing from the beginning. Then they wouldn't have had to act like nothing happened. Then we all would have gotten back to life as usual. Maybe it's just too much for him after all. The woman ran her fingers through her hair as if she sighed. No, it wasn't. Not at all. I tried to act strong, but that served to emphasize how much information just unsettled me. After seeing how much I looked, Tomitaki-san appeared to regret saying anything. Letting out a sigh, he then spoke, forcing an awkward, upbeat demeanor. Keiichi-kun, surely you don't believe in such things as curses. Well, no. If the causes of all the crimes were unknown, with the perpetrators and their methods all mysteries, then I would think it's the work of a curse. But that's not how things are in reality. The police are investigating evidence and subjects to uncover the truth. Hearing him say police made me feel a lot better. It was perfect for repelling the word curse. The first one, the dismemberment, for example? I told you, didn't I? All but one of the perpetrators were arrested. It's only a matter of time for the last one. The motive turned out to have been an argument while they were intoxicated. That's no curse. Don't you agree? That was true. If it didn't happen on the day of the Watanagashi, then I wouldn't think it was related to the curse at all. The accidental death of the man who supported a dam was the same. He was in a position that made the others hate him. The police made a point of investigating it from that angle. They concluded that it was an accident, not foul play. But they both happened on the day of the festival, right? Just think about it, Keiichi-kun. Do you think people with a lot of enemies here in Himisawa would participate easily in a local festival? It would be especially hard for them to be around during the Watanagashi. So they probably left Minazawa intentionally around this time of year to travel, don't you think? It wasn't a very clear explanation, but I was sort of understood what Tomitaka-san was getting at. So I pressed on earnestly, asking more questions so I could convince myself. Then, Tomitaka-san, what about the priest who died after that? The one with the unknown illness? That also happened on the day of the festival. It's even easier to explain what happened to the Shinto priest. Watanagashi is a really big event that happens once a year. It was probably from all the built-up stress, or may have been because of the pre-existing condition. But it was an unknown illness. It's hard to believe something like that unknown cause could exist with all of our advances in medicine. It's just an exaggeration, rumors making rumors. Anyone could get worked up over having incidents happen 2 years in a row. Sudden death is quite unnatural, though. Of course, the police ordered an autopsy because of the strange way he died, but there wasn't enough of them to open a full investigation, you know? Turns out it was just a sudden death due to illness. The priest's wife committed suicide, correct? What about that? I believe I already explained that. Everyone was shaken up by the incidents happening for a third year. Those who have strong faith are quick to believe it was a work of a curse. Of course, that included the priest's wife. Suddenly they found a suicidal note that said something like, "My death will quell Yurishiro-sama's anger." Well then, what about the next incident with the housewife? That happened on the day of the Watanagashi too. The perpetrator has already been caught and the case has been closed. Turns out it was just some nut job trying to continue the legacy of the Minazawa curse. Then, how about the incident next year? Oh yeah, this is the next year. Tomitaki-san gave a hearty laugh. Nothing will happen. Not this year. There was never a curse to begin with. It's just a group of people believe it was an explanation for a string of coincidences. My eternal computer finally got itself back on track. I was a bit embarrassed by how childish I had become after losing control and panicking. I can see very clearly now that Keiichi-kun really does love Minazawa. Even if Oyashiro-sama's curse actually did exist, Keiichi-kun couldn't bring himself to believe in such a thing existed. I felt very relieved. I should probably just forget everything I heard tonight. I'll greet Ren and Mion tomorrow with the same smile as always. They'll probably also like tonight to end without incident, so they can continue tomorrow without having to worry me. Perhaps seeing my change in attitude, the woman who had been listening stretched as if she got up from a rock she was sitting on. Well then, I should be getting back. Goodness, I think I may have gone on a bit too long. There were a few people compared to the crowd from before. I can only make a few groups of families enjoying the cool evening air. I looked at my watch. It seemed we talked for the better part of an hour. Didn't you come along with your friends, Keiichi-kun? Not going to look for them? Oh yeah. They might all be looking for me. You're quite the scoundrel making the girls look for you. See you, Keiichi-kun. Have a good nice night. You too, Jiro-san. I'll see you a bit later. Tomitaki-san seems quite the scoundrel himself, though his name is Jiro. After dusting her backside, she disappeared into the crowd of people still busy cleaning up the shrine grounds. Keiichi-kun! So sorry! In her place, Rena came running over. I could see the others come behind her. Speak of the devil. My bad, Kei-chan. We got so caught up in our discussion. I'd completely forgotten about him while I was caught up in my own conversation, so we're even. My, so Tomitaki-san was with you. This works out perfectly. We still need to settle the shooting gallery competition. Ah, that's right. So I guess I'm gonna end up dead last. In the end, after all my dramatic victory, Rika-chan was the last challenger, but there weren't many targets left. The ones remaining were tiny and difficult to hit. She did take her time and aim, but the 3 shots completely missed. She also ended up sharing the loser's crown with Tomitaki-san. However, she did her little mewing cry in front of the owner, and he turned to mush instantly. She was given a pack of gum as a consolation prize. Her methods were a bit audacious, but she did avoid being a loser rather magnificently. Come to think of it, Rika-chan is quite the trickster. I have no idea what Keiichi's talking about. Now then, it's decided that Tomitaki-san is dead last. Everyone cheered and applauded. Tomitaki-san smiled wryly and slightly bewildered. So, Tomitaki-san, are you ready? Penalty time. Huh? I completely forgot about that. You're too naive, Tomitaki-san. This is why our club can never lose. Mion pulled a felt tip marker from her pocket. Oh, it's that. Show him some mercy, Mion. At least use a washable marker. Permanent one's too harsh. Ah haha. It just has to be permanent. It comes off when you do the laundry anyway. Whoa, what's this? Please, take it easy on me. Olive pinned his arms behind his back and Mion approached him with a marker in one hand. And squip. But she didn't write on Tomitaka-san's face. She was wrote on the shirt he was wearing. You better always have your big break this year, Mion. Oh. Not much of a punishment. Oh, I see. Everybody's just gonna write stuff. Rena took up the marker next. Show me your photos next time, okay? It was a little heartwarming and I just had to laugh. This is more like a farewell card than a penalty. I'm not as soft as the rest. I'll make sure this is a proper penalty. Dead last. Try harder next time, Rika. Here you go, Keiichi. I couldn't decide what to write, but based on what kind of penalty this was, probably the most appropriately. Come back and play again. Tomitaka-san was silent the entire time. At first he was quite bewildered, but now he had a different look on his face. Do I have to wear this all the way back to Tokyo as part of the penalty? Of course, you better wear it all the way back home. You could wear it when you come back. It would be nice. He appeared deeply moved. Embarrassment mixed with a wealth of other emotions made him turn bright red. Understood. I'll wear this the next time I come here. I promise. Everyone cheered and applauded. It was the finest parting gift possible for a buddy heading out tonight. I saw the woman who was with Tomitaka-san standing near the festival grounds. It seemed Tomitaka-san noticed her too and knew it was about time to leave. Seems like your guest is waiting. Isn't it about time? Yeah, that's certainly how it seems. Tomitaka-san headed off towards her and seemed to apologize for making her wait. We all shouted stuff at Tomitaka-san. Each time we did, he looked back and waved his hand. Eventually, he faded off into the darkness of the night, out of sight. It was quite the casual farewell. This wasn't the first time any of us had seen someone off. They had done the same thing many times before. He's gone. Well, it's about time we take off too. Rika-chan had to stay behind with the other committee members since they were having a meeting. Satoko was tagging along with her. I headed back home with the usual suspects. Well, when you say it like that. The walk back was quite lively, with the talk of the day's war stories. Should have done this, should have done that kind of stuff. Rena and I parted ways with Mion, and then it was just the two of us. Then we got to my house, and I parted ways with Rena as well. Already pretty late. Are you alright by yourself? Yeah, I'm perfectly fine. It's close, I'm going to run too. Run into some weirdo, just yell. If someone does come, will you come and save me, maybe? Maybe? If I hear you. Oh, okay, I'll scream loud enough so you can hear me. Merrily spinning her arms around at high speed, Rena dashed off. She was fine. In that mode, not even an adult could stand against her. Rena's cheerful presence disappeared, and it finally became quiet again. The curse that not a single person even whispered about. The more I learned about it tonight, the more unsettling it became. It didn't show on any of their faces, but they were probably all quite concerned about it as well. If nothing happens tonight, then it all ends up just being crazy talk. Nothing will happen. Nothing bad, nothing at all. What's wrong, Keiichi? Why are you standing in a place like that? Come inside, you'll catch a cold. It was my mom. Did you go, Mom? To the Watanagashi festival? In the end, your father didn't wake up, so I missed it. A little disappointing. Mom stuck out her tongue with a bit of an embarrassed look on her face. I know what happens in the anime, but are they going to change up in this? You ever see new tips? Okay, so it's going to be a bunch of different things. It's a long one. Alright, let's go through these while I'm here. Okay, Hoju couples falling incident. Okay, so this is Satoko's parents, if I remember correctly. From the June 1980 edition. On the afternoon at 2 p.m., our office employee, Blank, and his wife, Blank, at Himizawa Village in Shishibone Prefecture disappeared after falling 27 meters from an observatory platform in Shirakawa Prefecture. Police and firefighters searched downstream and discovered the body of so-and-so at around 7 p.m. that evening. His wife, Blank, has yet to be found. The search has run into difficulties due to the effects of Typhoon 3 from the previous day. It appeared to be railing the observatory that so-and-so's leaned on that had broken, causing him to fall. The groundskeeping staff was questioned by the police in regards to facility deterioration, as if the park maintenance was performed properly. Okay, so that one was fairly short. That's not bad. Yeah, so I remember basically everyone that our main characters are related to in some shape or form were somehow related to his death, except Neon, I believe. And so, yeah, things and stuff. Terminal illness of death of Shinto priest Furude. This is Rika's parents that passed away. June 1981 edition. On the afternoon of blank around 10 p.m. in the X-district of Himizawa Village in Shishibone Prefecture, the Shinto priest of the Furude Shrine passed away after an existing condition he was recovering from suddenly worsened. Parties close to deceased said he was suffering from anxiety issues concerning the festival, which was to be held that day. Also, after his death, his wife went missing, leaving behind a farewell note. The police and local youth association continued the search. However, given the presence of farewell message and the fact that the Onyegafuchi marsh said it was to be bottomless, they have to run into difficulties. Alright, so this is housewife murder. I'll leave my knowledge of this one out of this right now. It wasn't reported in the newspaper. Oh, never mind. Alright, well that was it. And then radio log. This is Okinomiya Station calling Unit 3. Unit 3, please respond. This is Unit 3, loud and clear. Backup is headed your way. Hold position until further instructions. Over. Roger, Unit 3 acknowledged. Requesting no headlights. Requesting radio silence. Station, the doctor has arrived. They want to carry it away. What's the order? Over. Acknowledged. Leave it to the doctor. Affirmative. Understood. Backup has arrived. Shouldn't we let them take the photo first? I think the Vic is done for. I wonder if that's specifying to the housewife murder. I don't know. That wasn't very clear when that happened, but interesting. Anyway, we got all through those, and let's save here. Yes, so we just finished chapter 6 up, and yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and cut this off here. So I think things are going to take a turn here. If we're following with anime standards, from what I remember, things are going to shift here. And I'm excited to see how it turns out. So, I'll get to this as soon as I can, and thank you guys so much for watching this with me, and appreciate you guys. Again, let me know what y'all think of this, and y'all have a great one. See you guys later. Bye-bye.